What if I told you that a game about stealing, sitting, and waiting reached tens of millions of visits out of nowhere? Well, this is still a Brainrot, possibly the most strangely successful Roblox cash grab of all time, and I want in on that action. I mean, surely I can make something as simple as this, right? Well, today we're gonna find out. So I tried to make my own steal a Brainrot cash grab in 24 hours to prove to myself that I'm capable of making a game that can go viral. And let's just say it doesn't go exactly to plan. No. Well, we better get going because the clock starts now. Before we begin, we need a fresh new idea, because let's be real, copying the game one-on-one is going to get us nowhere. And honestly, I think we've all had enough of Brainrot. So after some pondering, here's what I've got. Ducks pass through a park in a stream with different rarities. You can grab these ducks and bring them back to your plot, where they swim around in a pond and generate money. But other players can steal your ducks whenever your force field is down. And I think that's a pretty solid idea. But now we have to make it in just 24 hours. Otherwise, I might be too late to the trend and my game will completely flop. So let's get started with our... In Steal a Brainrot, players have their own boring grey boxes where their weird creatures live. In my game, players will have a quaint little pond where our ducks live. So I went ahead and made an amazing, stunning, temporary plot and got to work coding. I'm not going to bore you with all the gibberish, but essentially, whenever a player joins, it assigns them a plot. Oh, never mind. That was actually super simple. So yeah, after about an hour, I already had a working plot system. That was super easy, but this is nothing compared to what happens later on. Oh my god, man. Anyway, let's move on to the next step. Spawning ducks. In Steal a Brainrot, the weird little critters crawl out from the shadows and just walk their way to the other end of the map. What I want to do is create two nice little caves and have a river flowing through them, and the ducks will just swim on by. So now I have to endure the one thing I'm terrible at when it comes to making games. Building. But all of these games tend to stick to what I believe is stud spam, so I think I should be good. Let's just see how I do. Alright, so let's try and make this map. It shouldn't be too hard, right? I just need to make a big blue stripe down the middle, add some dirt here, build up these walls, and now I try and make some decent looking cave entrances. So let's see how this goes. So, what do you think's gonna happen? A, I fumble hard. B, I pop off. Or C, the FBI raided my home and prevented me from continuing this challenge. Did you pick C? Bro, it was A. So yeah, I fumbled hard. But I decided to go for a cool waterfall instead and cover up the entrances, which I think looks nice. And hey, look at this incredible map. I need to show this to my boy Maz, he's gonna love this. You know what? He's right. To make this map 100% complete, it needs decoration. So I went ahead and found some amazing stud assets from, not the toolbox. I got to work, adding in trees, flowers, grass, and more little details until finally, you know what? I think this looks pretty darn good. I guess that means the map is now complete. Thanks for looking up for old Duckable. Maybe this challenge won't be so hard after all.
Oh, how mistaken you are.
What do you mean?
It only gets more treacherous from here.
Bro, who even are you?
I am John Foreshadow.
Oh my god. Progress was going really well. I already had a super nice map made along with the base plot system, all in just 4 hours. And some guy called John Foreshadow was not going to stop the grind. So I went right on to the next step. Ducks. At first I was going to create a ton of ducks using the stud style, but maybe that's not the best idea. So I went and stuck to the classic Roblox ducks. I went ahead and created an overhead GUI to show their name, rarity, cost, and coins per second. It was now time to come up with all of the ducks we'll be adding to the game. Okay, we have the classic duck, of course, we can't forget him. Oh, I found an angel duck, that's crazy. And here's just an absolute ton of them. Alright, well, let's get these guys sorted out then. Here we go. We now had a cool selection of ducks for our game, but we need them to actually spawn. So let's get to it. So the script for spawning ducks is now done. They now spawn in, make their way down the river, and I've made it so that there's a guaranteed legendary and mythic duck every 5 and 15 minutes. This thing took a hot minute, bro, but we're good, we did it. Ducks were now spawning, and at this point, we're about 25% done with the game. Although when you go and pick them up, they just disappear. We need the players to be able to carry the ducks back to their pond. Oh, but yeah, we don't have a pond yet. So let's go ahead and spruce up the plot template. Alright, fellas, I think we're gonna need some fences. So let's go ahead and move this sign down. Now let's slap in some laser doors, and I think we're definitely looking a lot better than before. But now, it was time for me to tell you to subscribe. YouTube says that 107% of people are subscribed, and that's not enough. So subscribe if you're enjoying the video. Anyway, it's time for me to tackle the pond. And I was honestly terrified to give it a go. It is just a circle, bro. Let's just see what I can do. Okay, so it's a circle. I don't really know what else to say. It works, I think. Let's finally start working on these ducks. Yeah, it was now time to finally code the duck buying system. I was pumped to get going. You know what? I think this calls for a montage. I'm not really sure what to do here. I want the player to be able to pick up the ducks and then take them back, but I think that's going to take up too much time. I don't know what to do right now. I decided to make a compromise. Considering I only had 24 hours to make this entire game, I decided to have the ducks teleport to your pond once you bought it. It's not perfect, but I want to make sure I give myself as much time as possible because I still have a lot more to deal with. But hey, we can now buy ducks. That's pretty cool. And now we've made it to hour 12. We're now halfway through the challenge, and I still have quite a lot to do. So, what's next? Well, we need to actually store the ducks in the player's pond and have them swim around. So let's create a function in the plot handler that spawns in ducks when they're bought. And now let's give this a test. Oh, okay. Test 2. No, test 3. Let's see. Oh, there he is. Look at his little head popping up. Okay, and if we load back in, hopefully he will still be there. And no, he isn't. Oh my god, man. I was beginning to stumble. I was having an insane problem with profile service, which stores all the player's data, which means no ducks, which means no stealing ducks, which means no game. I was failing over and over the next hour or so until... Oh, he's there, let's go. Success was finally achieved. Our drowning little duck had spawned in, and after writing up a little bit of code, we're now able to see our little guys swimming around the pond, meaning we're now around 50% done with this game. And honestly, after this huge win, I've been hit with a huge wave of motivation, but we still have 50% to go, and we're pretty behind on time. Hopefully I can make up for it as we head into hour 6. So what's up next on the to-do list? Well, the thing that brings this whole game together. The stealing system. First off, I created an attachment on the player's character for where the duck would sit when you're carrying them. Second, I had to make a super complex animation for the player to carry the duck. And third, when the player returns back to their base, the duck should then be moved into their pond. Surprisingly, it worked first try. The stealing system was now complete. The one system I worried about was actually a breeze. But now what? The game seems pretty much done, right? No. We still have a lot of things to add, so let's move into rapid fire mode. Why don't we move on to some GUI? There's 3 things we need here: a shop, index, and rebirth menu. So we kind of have the main UI set up here, but now we have to create all the menus. And you know, I don't think this style is gonna fit. So let's try create something else. Grow a Garden uses like a stud UI style, so maybe I can try something like that. Honestly, not too bad, I must say. After putting these cool UI frames into the game, I got to work on the first 2 menus, leaving the most important for last. The first was the duck index, which shows you all the ducks you've discovered. All I had to do was get every duck, slap them in a viewport, and there we go. Next up was the rebirth menu. I got to work on the UI, coded it up, and you know, not too long, just 1 whole hour. But it was done, and you can now rebirth and get some cool buffs. The final menu was the most important, and one I would be taking on as we make it into... Before we take on the final challenge of this challenge, we don't have any way of selling our ducks. So I create a prompt on every single duck that lets players sell them to clear space for better ones. Sorry, dude. And now, finally, wait, no, we still have one more thing before the final challenge of the challenge. Right now, players kind of just have to watch as someone steals their ducks. They need weapons to fight back with, and that's exactly what I make next. What weapons should I even give people? Oh wait, I can just use the slap pan from my last game, right? Let's just go ahead and grab this and slap it into here. See what I just did there? So whenever you're stealing and get slapped, you now drop the duck. Okay, for real this time, we're at the final challenge. The shop. I have under 4 hours to get this done. Can I do it? Well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out right now. Final push, people. Let's go. What kind of stuff does Steal a Brainrot have? Oh yes, the classic server luck. They got a starter pack, some tools too, admin commands. That's an absolute fortune, and your usual currency stuff. All right, speedrun time. First off, I think the tools will be pretty easy. All we need to do is grab a couple iconic ones from the toolbox and just recode them a little bit. Done. Nice. Next up, just some regular coin products. I just need to set up some modules for these and put in how much money it should give the player. Also done. Okay, there's no way I'm doing admin commands, but a starter pack could be cool. Let's put in 10,000 coins, a slap bat with more power, and a demonic duck. And now finally, the server luck. This should be easy. Yeah, it was not easy. The game was 95% done at this point. Server luck was the only thing between me and completing the challenge. And let's just say there isn't much time left. 1 hour to be exact. I didn't even know where to start. How server luck works is that you buy a boost and it increases for 15 minutes. But it's very stackable, leading to overpowered servers constantly spawning insanely rare ducks. I've never made something like this before, so I was completely stumped. My motivation was destroyed as I sat for ages stuck on what to do. But I wasn't going to give up. I went to look for a solution. Unfortunately, there were no YouTube tutorials or forum posts, so I had to ask this stupid robot how to make a server luck system. And what a surprise, it wasn't very helpful. So I decided to trust my gut and do it myself. I'm terrified I'm going to break the whole system, but whatever, let's do this. Alright, we're coming up to like the last half hour. Let's see if we got this. Okay, so stop working on the boards. Now if I go in and buy this. Yes, okay, nice. Now the 4 times luck. Okay, now 8 times. Okay. You can see there it's working, but we have one final test. Does it add on extra time? Yes! Oh, finally. Oh, we did it. I think are we done? As I began to celebrate my victory, I realized something. Oh my god, that was intense, man. Wait. No. As I noticed my to-do list, I remembered that I forgot the most important part of the game. Offline earnings. How much time do I have left? 20 minutes? Okay, we need to move fast. These 20 minutes were honestly the quickest, most dedicated 20 minutes of my life. I'm so close to making an entire, pretty solid game all in 24 hours. I think I really outdone myself compared to the last 24-hour game. And hopefully it'll be more successful too. It might not be a AAA banger, but I'm proud of what I made. And boy, despite it being stressful, it was so fun too. I think the map also came out really well for someone who can't build. I think people tend to ignore how much effort, skill, and passion goes into making any Roblox game. I may not see this as an absolute work of art. Some people are going to say it's garbage slop, but I'm proud of it. And I loved every second of making it. That being said, come on. Okay, let's see. Yes! Oh, yes, let's go. There's our offline earnings. We did it. The game is 100% complete with 4 minutes to spare. Oh my god. The game is in the description if you want to check it out. And if you want to see more videos like this, check out this last game I also made in 24 hours. But do it quick, the duck's coming. I think it's gonna blow up.